You are listening to the Pleasant Spirit Podcast with your host, licensed massage therapist, Kyle Pleasant. Here, we will be discussing topics on health and wellness, as well as self-improvement, and his experiences as a legally blind massage therapist. And now, here's your host, Kyle.
Hello, and welcome to the Pleasant Spirit Podcast. I'm your host, licensed massage therapist, Kyle Pleasant. Well, I hope everybody out there is getting their winter break on. The holiday season has been geared up for a little bit now, and I hope everyone is healthy and safe and happy and even has the opportunity to get to spend time with family and just really embrace the intent for the holiday season. The intent of giving, the intent of gratitude, peace on earth, goodwill towards men, those kinds of sentiments, are definitely important these days to kind of keep in our mind's eye when we move through the holiday season. I know for some that, Christmas is not the best time, and some people look down on the season for, its commercialism or symbolism or any of that kind of stuff. But it's also a good time to just take a moment and, count your blessings, figure out what you're grateful for, and just kind of get your mind in the right mindset, so to speak. And, well, for me, I just kind of wanted to get on here and do an episode like I did last year where, it sets that intention. It reminds us of that intention about being grateful to count our blessings, stop and look at the world with a different lens, so to speak. I wanted to thank everyone this year for listening to my podcast and just contributing your thoughts and well wishes and comments over the last year, and just kind of, again, set forth a really good intention for the next year. And a lot of things have been going on this year with me, and I haven't made as many episodes as I did last year, because I've been working on other projects. We've had the opportunity to kind of get out more, visit family. This year, my wife, Kelsey, has got her massage license, so she's kind of been starting up working in the practice with me, and my mother has moved in with us, so there's a lot of changes that have kind of been happening in our household, and hasn't afforded me the time to kind of set aside to put together as many episodes. But I do want to thank those of you that have contributed over the past year, and all the listeners out there, and I'm just putting forth the intention to be able to put out some more episodes this coming year, and hopefully get some more listeners and more of you, start to interact with the podcast, telling me about what episodes you might want to hear, or what topics you might want to hear me discuss, and you can always reach out to me at podcast@pleasantspirit.com. But I did want to set forth an intention this year where in the past year and two, actually, with all the pandemic stuff that's been going on and all the political things that have been going on and all kinds of different things that have just kind of been dominating the airwaves and internet waves and that kind of stuff, is that, there's definitely a lot that both our eyes and our minds and our hearts there's so much information out there that we take in on a daily basis. I mean, there's studies that say, your eyes can and ears, your senses basically take in so much information at one given time of every second, every minute of the day. We take in so much information, and our minds, with our own perceptions and ideas and upbringing and values and belief systems, kind of filter a lot of that out. We may take in thousands of bits of information, thousands upon thousands of bits of information a minute, but our mind will filter that out with our own perceptions and perspectives. And I just wanted to maybe set a point here that because we all are looking at the world with a different lens, we come from different backgrounds, we come from different ideas and belief systems, that we take a moment to recognize the differences in each other. I gave a podcast before that we, could be looking at a sunset, but I may be looking at it from one lens, and the person standing next to me will look at it from a different lens. When I've made the point where, there's in school, they have like debate clubs, and you're asked to pick a topic and then pick whether you're pro or con, and then debate your opponent who takes the other. If you take the pro, then your opponent takes the con on a particular argument. And you have to formulate, something objective using facts and figures and, ideas and logic, and to counter your opponent's arguments. Well, that can be challenging for some, because you got to sit down and you got to look objectively at all the points for both sides of an argument. And it's my challenge this year that we all take a moment to see what's going on in the world from a different perspective. It's a year to, basically think differently, because I don't know who said it, Einstein or somebody, but the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same things expecting a different result. And for the last couple of years especially, I feel like the world's been insane. I don't know how anybody else out there feels or whatever it is, but there's some mornings that I just have to shut it off. The news, social media, any kind of outside thing, and just enjoy my Christmas tree, or just enjoy watching my daughter play, or just enjoy, my family sitting at the dinner table, enjoying a meal and taking in that moment and being in a mindful state, rather than seeing what's the latest on the news or seeing what's the latest post on social media. And taking that time and taking that moment to appreciate and being mindful in the moment, kind of helps to reset, your mind. And so, to get away from the insanity. So I just want to challenge everybody out there is to let's get away from the insanity by being mindful and stepping away from, for a while, stepping away from social media. Go on a social media fast, for the day or a couple of days or whatever. Just like there's things out there that talk about intermittent fasting and, living healthier or whatever by using a fast. We can certainly do an information fast as well. And we might come out a little healthier doing that. But not only that, but just thinking from a different perspective. Because you don't know the person that you're debating or the counter arguments that are out there, you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what their upbringing was. You don't know what their situation might have been or whatever. And to you, it might seem insane. It might seem just off the wall or, just plain wrong. But, if we just take a moment to try and see what's going on, the arguments or the concerns that the world is going through, if we can stop and look at it from a different lens, then maybe we can get on the same page and we can stop some of the insanity. And so with that, I hope that, we can stop the insanity and bring a little bit more peace on the earth, which is the intent for the season anyway. So with that, I hope that something out there inspired somebody out there, and like and subscribe and share this episode if it meant something to you. And if you, again, have a comment, I would love to hear back from some of the listeners there. I mean, there's plenty of ways to reach out on either social media whenever you're not taking a break from it. You can email me at podcast@pleasantspirit.com. And again, Anchor and Apple Podcasts and whatever else you're listening to has a link down there at the bottom that allows you to click on it and leave a voicemail. And if it's a cool comment, we can certainly put it on the air. So with that, everyone have a great season, and here's to 2022, where we can think differently and see the world differently and stop being so insane. With that, be well and have a pleasant 2020. Or 2022, actually. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Pleasant Spirit Podcast. We hope you found today's show informative. Please take a moment to write a review. And if you want to reach out or have show ideas, you can email at podcast@pleasantspirit.com. You can also visit his website at pleasantspirit.com. If you are in the Portland, Oregon area, you can schedule a massage or one of his coaching services at pleasanttouchmassage.com. See you next time, and always be well.